Liu Moqiao's miserable corporate life literally swallows him whole as he falls into a void. He wakes up strapped to a futuristic lab table, greeted by a towering, menacing robot. Congratulations, he's volunteer 645 for a dystopian experiment, much to his sheer panic. The robot casually explains they're implanting him with AI models to harvest data after he lives a new life. Given a choice, Liu opts to hide the AI interface in a mole under his eye. But anesthesia in the year 2178 turns out to be a swift dumbbell to the face. He's sucked through a cosmic vortex, crying over the realization that he's basically a human flash drive. The violent reboot dumps him on a bathroom floor, gasping and staring at his high school self in the mirror. He tries to summon a system menu like a generic protagonist, throwing up hand signs to no avail. But as a stray basketball hurtles towards him, his vision suddenly erupts with complex data streams. The AI isn't an interface, it's hardwired into his brain, upgrading his body to superhuman levels. Walking the campus, he spots Zhang Lin, the quiet girl who secretly loved him and cared for him in his past life. This time, he vows he won't be a coward. He won't let his own insecurities make him miss out on her. Suddenly, a basketball flies right at her head, but Liu's enhanced reflexes kick in. He intercepts it effortlessly. The culprit is Shi Feng, the arrogant bully and rich kid. Shi Feng mocks Zhang Lin, but Liu isn't the same pushover he used to be. He demands an apology for Zhang Lin, but the bully just laughs in his face. Shi Feng issues a challenge, a one-on-one basketball match. First to 11 points gets to make the rules. The game begins, and Liu's AI chip instantly maps out Shi Feng's stance and weaknesses. With a lightning-fast crossover, Liu easily bypasses him and sinks the first shot. Shi Feng tries to retaliate, but Liu's system calculates every trajectory and movement. He effortlessly drives past the stunned bully again, dominating the court with perfect precision. The match turns into a humiliating masterclass, with Liu running circles around the school's star player. Shi Feng is completely outmatched, unable to land a single block as Liu continues to score. With a final, casual shot, Liu secures a flawless 11-0 victory. He points at Zhang Lin, demanding the apology, but the humiliated Shi Feng just storms off. Liu watches him go, already plotting to expose the massive corruption scandal involving Shi Feng's family company. Later, he finds Zhang Lin waiting anxiously outside the classroom, targeted by a corrupt teacher. She blames herself for getting him in trouble, a painful echo of how she always waited for him in his past life. He reassures her, promising to protect her from now on, leaving her flustered and blushing. Back in the classroom, the school's popular girl, Jin Meng, tries to flirt, impressed by his sudden rise in status. She mentions the movie date he used to beg for, but Liu realizes he was wasting his youth chasing the wrong girl. He bluntly rejects her, announcing he's already taking Zhang Lin instead, leaving Jin Meng embarrassed and furious. Zhang Lin is caught off guard, trying to deny it, but Liu steps close and softly confirms his intentions. He clears up the misunderstanding, stating he has absolutely no interest in Jin Meng anymore. Looking at the shy girl in front of him, he asks if she'd still like to go to that movie. To his relief, she smiles brightly and agrees to the weekend date. During class, the vindictive Miss Shi tries to humiliate Liu by calling him up to answer a complex translation. Liu doesn't flinch. His AI instantly pulls up the textbook, the notes, and the entire historical context. He delivers a flawless, in-depth analysis of the text, turning the intended punishment into a public flex. The teacher, desperate to save face, claims memorizing a reference book isn't real knowledge. So, Liu takes it further, quoting obscure ancient commentary to point out an error in the textbook itself. Defeated and speechless, the teacher has no choice but to let the class continue. As they leave, Jin Meng tries one last time to regain his attention, mocking his choice of date. She tries to act superior, but Liu easily sees through her shallow attempts to make him jealous. She calls Zhang Lin a country bumpkin, but Liu coldly tells her to stop comparing herself to someone far out of her league. He walks away, leaving Jin Meng fuming, realizing that he is completely immune to her games now. He knows that Zhang Lin will grow up to be the most beautiful and talented woman on campus. He comforts Zhang Lin, telling her she is worth far more than the petty insults thrown her way. The weekend arrives, and they meet up at the mall to finally go on their highly anticipated date. Zhang Lin shows up without her glasses, looking stunning, and Liu is completely mesmerized by her beauty. They settle into the theater, arms brushing as they share a bucket of popcorn in the dim light. The movie is a comedy he's seen 10 times before in his past life, but seeing her laugh so genuinely makes it feel brand new. He realizes that sitting here with her, watching her smile, is better than any blockbuster. After the movie, they wander into the arcade, looking for a souvenir to win. She eyes the claw machines, but Liu wants to find something that gives the best return on investment. Unfortunately, their date is interrupted by Shi Feng and his punk friends, looking for trouble. The gang mocks Liu, claiming his basketball win was just a fluke. But Liu spots a giant teddy bear offered as the grand prize for breaking the punching machine's record. He inserts a coin, completely ignoring their taunts, and steps up to the machine. His AI kicks in again, calculating that exactly 73% power is needed to max the score without destroying the arcade. With a perfectly calculated swing, his fist connects with the leather bag. The digital numbers blur as the score skyrockets, finally locking in at a massive 999. The machine spits out an endless stream of tickets as the prize is secured. He hands the oversized bear to a wide-eyed Zhang Lin, leaving the bullies standing there in stunned silence. Later that night, standing outside his neighborhood, he reflects on his new reality. He's not just a high schooler anymore. He possesses an AI capable of changing the entire world. Scrolling through the AI interface, he accesses future software versions, determined to bring domestic animation into a golden age 10 years early. Wasting no time, Liu generates his first 3D printed hard drive and heads home. He plugs it in to test the AI's rendering capabilities. He is completely blown away by the incredible results. The chip renders a flawless, hyper-realistic animation in seconds. It even fills in intricate details he hadn't fully conceptualized. The dream of revolutionizing the domestic animation industry is suddenly within arm's reach. But he decides to put the brakes on monetization for now. Before building his empire, he needs to settle a score with Henki devices. His advanced AI slices through the primitive 2010 cybersecurity like butter. He effortlessly infiltrates their internal management network. Sifting through the hidden files, he strikes gold. He uncovers a massive web of long-term kickbacks. With the data secured, Liu faces a new problem. He needs a way to leak the information without painting a target on his family. He creates a formidable virtual persona, christening it X. X is designed to be a patriotic hacker operating from the shadows. To establish X's credibility, he targets the National Internet Emergency Center. He sends them a cryptic warning email, promising a demonstration of his power. The cybersecurity division scrambles as a massive cyber intrusion hits. All across Times Square, massive digital billboards are simultaneously hijacked. The glowing X logo dominates the global stage. The authorities are thrown into an absolute panic. Their top trace teams are left completely baffled. X ghosts them flawlessly, severing the connection the second they try to track him. With their full attention captured, X delivers a second manifesto. He addresses the cybersecurity boardroom directly through a video file. He declares himself the ultimate shield and spear for the nation's cyber defense. But his powerful alliance comes with a strict test. He drops a digital payload containing 5 massive corruption files. He gives the authorities exactly 7 days to act on the first target. Recognizing the unprecedented skill of this mysterious hacker, the government decides to play along. The very next day, police cars swarm the high school campus. The corrupt teacher, Shi Xiang, is marched out in handcuffs. She erupts in a bitter tirade, blaming her crimes on the desperation of poverty. She screams that poor people are the most evil, cursing her students. Liu steps from the crowd, coldly telling her she never deserved to be a teacher. She recognizes him and screams his name as she is forced into the police car. With the school's toxic administration purged, Zhang Lin admits she's furious. She hates that their sanctuary for fair competition was so deeply tainted. Liu comforts her, but his mind drifts to a painful memory from his past life. He remembers how Zhang Lin sacrificed her spot at a top university just to stay near him. Determined to rewrite her tragic trajectory, he takes her hand. He makes a solemn vow to follow her to whichever elite university she chooses. Their renewed bond is soon tested during a track and field meet. The school's resident meme girl, Jin Meng, lines up for the sprint. As the race begins, Jin Meng subtly kicks Zhang Lin's heel. Zhang Lin is sent tumbling hard onto the running track. Though she bravely finishes the race, Liu's AI ocular scan flags a problem. It immediately detects a severe soft tissue injury in her ankle. Furious at the deliberate sabotage, he doesn't hesitate. He scoops Zhang Lin onto his back in front of the entire school. Ignoring her protests, he carries her straight to the infirmary. He gently removes her shoe to inspect the swelling himself. Using his AI vision, he confirms the exact extent of the damage. He softly asks if Jin Meng has been repeatedly bullying her. Zhang Lin tries to brush it off, not wanting to cause any trouble. But Liu's gentle persistence finally breaks down her walls. Her quiet tears confirm exactly what he suspected all along. Leaving her in the care of the school doctor, he heads for the computer lab. His eyes glow with cold determination as he accesses the campus surveillance. He commands his AI to scrub thousands of hours of hidden footage. The system meticulously isolates every subtle shove and hidden trip Jin Meng orchestrated. Armed with a thick stack of undeniable proof, Liu stalks into the crowded cafeteria. He slams the printed evidence down right in front of Jin Meng. He watches the color drain from her face as her secret cruelty is exposed. He delivers a chilling ultimatum. Any further harassment will result in her utter ruin. He leaves the remaining evidence with her, ensuring she understands the threat. As he walks away, Jin Meng's friend tries to retaliate, but is quickly restrained by a classmate. With his high school enemies dealt with, Liu spends his days visiting Zhang Lin in the hospital. He brings her home-cooked meals, promising to keep taking care of her. As the college entrance exams approach, Zhang Lin is stunned by Liu's sudden jump to first place. Liu secretly realizes he leaned a bit too hard on his AI, accidentally achieving a perfect score. Discussing their future, Liu decides to target the prestigious Zhekang University. Zhang Lin wants to stay close to her ailing mother and busy father. so she resolves to apply to the same university, promising to follow him wherever he goes. The grueling exams finally conclude, and the students pour out of the school gates. Walking together, they discuss their majors, both settling on computer science. Zhang Lin playfully reveals she's known his choice all along, having watched him since middle school. For the summer, Liu shares his plan to create animated videos for a streaming platform. Zhang Lin immediately declares she will be his very first fan. As they graduate, Zhang Lin sheds her quiet reservations. She runs to him, determined to not hold back her feelings anymore. Catching up to him, she wraps him in an emotional embrace. They part ways for the summer with a promise to reunite at college. Back home, Liu finally puts his grand monetization plan into action. Hooking up his AI drive, he decides to adapt a famous novel from his past life. The AI works at breakneck speed, effortlessly rendering over 500 complete episodes. Apologizing to the original author in his mind, he uploads the entire series at once. True to her word, Zhang Lin finds his channel and hits subscribe, becoming his first fan. The animation itself is a masterpiece of cinematic quality. The breathtaking visuals and flawless execution immediately capture viewers' attention. The upload goes incredibly viral, flooding the screen with shocked bullet comments. Audiences are stunned, not just by the quality, but by the sheer volume of episodes dropped overnight. Industry experts are baffled, calculating that top studios would need a decade to produce this. Professional directors concede that this work is light years ahead of its time. Liu smirks, knowing the technology comes from a future even he hasn't fully seen. The massive, unprecedented traffic completely overwhelms the platform's servers. Recognizing a goldmine, the platform's CEO decides they must secure this creator immediately. He personally calls Liu to arrange a face-to-face negotiation. They meet at a cafe, where the CEO is surprised by Liu's youth. The CEO offers a blank check for exclusive rights to Liu's future projects. Liu doesn't hesitate, demanding $2 million in cash and a 5% stake in the company. In exchange, he guarantees 5 more exclusive series of the same groundbreaking quality. Though the price is steep for the young platform, the CEO knows this is their future. He agrees, and they shake on the monumental deal. The $2 million is transferred to Liu's account on the spot. The CEO admits he was terrified of losing such a generational talent. Leaving the cafe, Liu knows the real prize is the equity, destined to be worth billions. The summer flies by, and on the night before college, Liu packs his bags. He calls Zhang Lin, arranging to meet her for lunch at the cafeteria. She teases him about a surprise she has prepared for tomorrow. As they say goodnight, the reality of their long separation hits them. Overcome with longing, they both admit how much they've missed each other. The next morning, Zhang Lin steps onto the university campus. She has ditched her glasses and styled her hair, ready to show Liu the real her. Her stunning transformation immediately catches the eyes of upperclassmen. Whispers spread that the school has a brand new campus belle. Meanwhile, Liu arrives at his dorm room, finding he's the last to move in. His new roommates warmly welcome him to college life. The athletic Yu Sen is the first to introduce himself. Next is Fang Ji, who casually admits to being a wealthy second-generation heir. And finally, the aloof A Hong rounds out the group. Fang Ji generously offers to treat them all to a lavish lunch to celebrate. Liu accepts, realizing he'll have to push his lunch date with Zhang Lin. Across campus, seniors scramble to help the beautiful Zhang Lin with her luggage. She politely but firmly rejects their attempts to get her contact info. Brushing off another lunch invitation, she stays entirely focused on finding Liu. Reaching her room, she meets her elegant new roommate, Fang Wangqing. Wangqing explains that their other roommates won't be arriving until the second semester. As Zhang Lin tries to leave to meet Liu, Wangqing stops her. She insists Zhang Lin accompany her to a joint dorm mixer her brother organized. Not wanting to meet other guys, Zhang Lin is hesitant, preferring to see Liu. But with no polite way out, she messages Liu to change their date to the evening. Yielding to Wangqing's pleas, she agrees to attend the lunch. At the restaurant, Fang Jie tells his roommates that his sister is bringing her dorm. Wangqing enters, apologizing for only bringing one person, just as Zhang Lin walks right into Liu's lunch. At the dorm mixer, Zhang Lin's arrival immediately catches everyone off guard, but Liu doesn't miss a beat. He confidently steps up and takes her hand in front of the astonished group, boldly claiming her as his own. His roommates are left speechless, wondering how he managed to win over the school beauty. As they sit down, Liu reflects on his past life, where he waited until his 30s to confess, held back by his own insecurities. But this time, armed with his second chance, he refuses to let history repeat itself. His friends laugh off his philosophical remarks as a joke, entirely unaware of the truth behind his words. After lunch, Liu takes Zhang Lin for a stroll through the picturesque Zhejiang University campus. Their striking presence turns heads, with whispers and admiring glances following them. Even the upperclassmen can't help but stare, wondering who the lucky freshman is. They walk past the fountains and through the corridors, enjoying the quiet moments before the afternoon assembly. Finding a quiet spot at the Lovers' Woods by the lake, they settle down together on a bench. Zhang Lin, letting her guard down, asks why he let his friend's jokes slide without a proper explanation. Liu gently admits that he still hasn't officially made her his girlfriend. Leaning on his shoulder, Zhang Lin confesses that she has harbored feelings for him since middle school. Hearing her sincerity, Liu realizes that his past life regrets were unfounded and that she always cared for him. Looking deeply into her eyes, he finally asks her to be his girlfriend. Overwhelmed with emotion, she tearfully accepts, and the long-awaited tension between them finally breaks. They seal their new relationship with a kiss by the lake, making up for lost time. The romantic atmosphere soon gives way to the grueling reality of military training. Liu and his roommates endure the scorching heat, complaining about the wealthy students who paid to skip the drills. Sheng Hong jokes around, oblivious to the storm that's about to hit their squad. They soon learn their squad leader is a notorious senior who is eager to establish dominance over the freshmen. Sheng Hong assumes Liu will be targeted because of his high-profile relationship with the campus beauty. But when the squad leader, Li Qiang, finally arrives, he immediately zeroes in on someone else. Eager to make an example out of someone, he sets his sights on Sheng Hong. Li Qiang singles him out purely for his flashy blonde hair, calling him out of the formation. Under the guise of a demonstration, he challenges Sheng Hong to a sparring match. Sheng Hong is hopelessly outmatched, unable to land a single blow as the senior toys with him. The senior unleashes a brutal combination, taking Sheng Hong down with unnecessary force. Using his AI interface, Liu analyzes Li Qiang's technique and realizes the senior is fighting with malicious intent. Li Qiang stands over Sheng Hong, demanding he dye his hair black, or else the beatings will continue. Unfazed, Li Qiang turns to the rest of the squad, asking if anyone else wants to challenge him. When nobody moves, he mockingly claims his foot is itchy and demands someone come scratch it. Liu isn't intimidated. He steps out of the line, ready to put the arrogant senior in his place. When Li Qiang asks for his name, Liu coldly replies that he is his daddy. Enraged, Li Qiang charges at him, but Liu's enhanced reflexes easily dodge the initial assault. Thanks to his tactical analysis, Liu counters a high kick with devastating precision. He effortlessly overpowers the senior, slamming him into the dirt in front of the entire squad. Liu casually remarks that next time Li Qiang's foot itches, he should be more careful. Later that evening, the freshmen gather on the field for some downtime and entertainment. Liu and Zhang Lin sit together, sharing a sweet moment as they rest from the day's training. Zhang Lin leans affectionately against Liu, completely comfortable in his presence. His roommates watch in disbelief, noting that the once-distant school beauty is now deeply in love. They realize that Zhang Lin, who usually ignores everyone else, only has eyes for Liu. Sheng Hong, nursing a bruised face, also watches them from a distance. A roommate tries to gossip about the couple, but Sheng Hong quickly shuts it down. Remembering how Liu stood up for him earlier, Sheng Hong fiercely defends Liu's honor. Suddenly, a wave of excitement ripples through the crowd as a special guest arrives on stage. It's Chen Zhuan, a wealthy, famous senior who plays the guitar to the roaring applause of the freshmen. The girls in the crowd swoon over his good looks and impressive background as a rich second-generation heir. Liu watches the spectacle, aware of the senior's reputation but unfazed by the hype. He playfully teases Zhang Lin for being so clingy, noting how she shed her icy persona. Zhang Lin admits that her coldness was only a shield for others, and that she's making up for lost time with him. Their sweet exchange is interrupted as Liu's roommates groan at the overwhelming public display of affection. On stage, Chen Zhuan finishes his set and greets the adoring crowd. He announces that he wants to invite a female freshman to join him for a duet. Almost every girl in the audience eagerly raises her hand, hoping to be chosen by the campus idol. Ignoring the volunteers, Chen Zhuan steps off the stage and walks directly toward the crowd. He heads straight for Zhang Lin, offering her the microphone and asking if she's interested. Without a moment's hesitation, Zhang Lin politely but firmly rejects his offer. Unwilling to accept defeat, Chen Zhuan persists, promising to grant her any wish if she agrees to sing. Zhang Lin declines again, and Liu firmly tells the senior to return to the stage. Humiliated by the public rejection, Chen Zhuan's smile fades as he realizes he can't charm his way out of this. Liu remembers how relentlessly Chen Zhuan pursued her in their past life and feels a surge of pride knowing she chose him this time. Trying to salvage his pride, Chen Zhuan challenges Liu to a guitar duel to see who is truly better. Liu calmly accepts the challenge, stepping up to the makeshift stage alongside his rival. Chen Zhuan goes first, playing a flashy, technically demanding piece to intimidate the freshman. He unleashes a flawless, blisteringly fast performance that completely eclipses Chen Zhuan's, leaving the entire crowd in absolute awe. Humiliated by Liu Moqiao's public victory, Li Qiang examines his bruised ribs, vowing revenge. Stepping out into the evening air, the bitter senior pulls out his phone to make a call. He orders a hit on Liu Moqiao, instructing a gang of thugs to ambush him in an old alley. Punching the wall in frustration, Li Qiang demands they beat Liu so badly he'll be terrified forever. Unaware of the impending danger, Liu is busy scouting the city for a suitable storefront. He checks out an available shop, but quickly dismisses it due to poor lighting and a bad layout. He finds a much better location and decides to contact the owner the next day to negotiate. As rain begins to fall, Liu takes a shortcut through a deserted, dimly lit alleyway. His path is suddenly blocked by a group of imposing, black-clad thugs. Their bald leader steps forward, arrogantly revealing that young Master Li Qiang sent them. Unfazed, Liu's AI system instantly scans the threat level and calculates the combat variables. Liu calmly asks the thugs if they aren't afraid of him calling the police. The leader laughs, pointing out the lack of security cameras and claiming Liu won't even get the chance. With a confident smirk, Liu mutters that this makes his upcoming actions perfectly justifiable as self-defense. His eyes glow as his AI targeting system activates, and the first thug charges at him. Liu dodges effortlessly, delivering bone-crushing counters that send the attackers flying. His movements are a blur of precision and power, dismantling the group with calculated strikes. The bald leader is the last one standing, and Liu swiftly pins him against the wall by the throat. The thug tries to use a metal baton, but Liu intercepts it and drops him to the wet ground. Standing over the defeated leader, Liu coldly demands to know exactly who sent them. To ensure his cooperation, Liu steps heavily on the man's hand, forcing a desperate confession out of him. The thug spills everything, confirming that the second-year senior, Li Qiang, paid them to teach Liu a lesson. Pleading for mercy, the battered thug claims they were just hired muscle and didn't know who they were messing with. Having extracted the confession, Liu spares them and tells them to explain everything to the police. He dials emergency services, reporting the ambush and requesting an ambulance for the injured men. Knowing he needs absolute proof against Li Qiang, Liu realizes he has to use his hacking persona once more. Back on campus, Liu casually strolls down the path and conveniently bumps into the smug Li Qiang. With a knowing smile, Liu advises the senior to prepare for a trip to the police station. Li Qiang is left confused, but moments later, a police car rolls into the university gates. The officers approach Li Qiang, verifying his identity and ordering him to come in for questioning. A text from his furious father confirms his doom, and Li Qiang is forced into the back of the squad car. The next day, rumors of Liu's legendary exploits spread like wildfire among the freshmen. From his guitar duel to his brutal victory over the martial arts club senior, Liu is the talk of the school. To add to his mystique, students discover he's also wealthy enough to buy out a coffee shop. The news that he's hiring part-timers has eager students rushing to apply for a position. Inside the newly acquired shop, Liu's friends help interview the flood of eager applicants. They run a strict initial screening, testing basic serving skills before passing candidates to Liu. Meanwhile, Liu is busy crunching numbers, realizing he needs a stable cash flow to keep the business afloat. He activates his AI chip to secretly produce high-quality animation videos as a side hustle. Using his eye as a literal data port, he prints the massive files directly onto an external hard drive. He reflects on how hard Zhang Lin had to work in the past, juggling classes and multiple jobs. Determined to give her a better life, Liu plans to gift the entire coffee shop to her once it's stable. His roommates, impressed by his boss moves, jokingly lament missing out on his epic moments. To celebrate, one of his friends generously offers to pay for everyone's coffee in the shop. Just then, Zhang Lin arrives, looking radiant, and is immediately greeted as the boss's wife. She makes her way to the back office, leaving Liu's friends in awe of her beauty. Slipping off her shoes, Zhang Lin enters the office and happily settles into Liu's lap. They share a tender moment, with Liu playfully teasing her about her new title among his friends. After their sweet embrace, Liu decides it's time to get down to serious business. He pulls a document from his drawer and hands it to her, the official transfer agreement for the shop. Zhang Lin is stunned by the gesture, realizing this is far more than just a simple gift. She initially refuses, unwilling to let him spend so much money on her just because they're dating. Liu holds her hand, insisting that since they are together, there should be no division between them. He explains he's too busy with his animation work to run it, framing the gift as an act of absolute trust. Moved to tears by his sincerity, Zhang Lin finally accepts the responsibility and signs the contract. Now officially business partners, Liu unveils his master plan, a series of new, AI-generated recipes. He then reveals his marketing strategy, an exclusive promotional crossover with his wildly popular anime project. They work side by side, finalizing production costs and mapping out their daily sales targets. As night falls, exhaustion sets in, and they finally head out for a well-deserved dinner. Back at his dorm later that night, Liu logs online to upload his latest animation masterpiece. The video features stunning new character designs and breathtaking visuals that immediately captivate his massive audience. But the real hook is the promotional tie-in. Buy a coffee at their shop, get a free character blind box. The strategy sends the internet into a frenzy, with fans clamoring to know where they can buy the combo. The next morning, a massive line snakes around the block as desperate fans flock to the shop. Customers rip open their boxes right at the tables, thrilled to score their favorite characters. The hype reaches a fever pitch when the ultra-rare hidden figure is revealed and auctioned for a staggering 10,000 yuan. Back in her dorm, an ecstatic Zhang Lin calculates their explosive first-day profits, realizing they've made nearly 50,000 yuan. Knowing demand is outstripping supply, Liu uses his AI powers to manifest a production machine out of thin air, but the extreme energy drain instantly causes him to collapse. Exhausted from his previous endeavor, he relies on sugar cubes to replenish his dangerously depleted energy reserves. Despite the physical toll, he pushes forward, drafting a meticulous schedule to lock down a factory. Knowing he can't keep his fans waiting, he resolves to test the upper limits of his AI chip. He sets strict parameters for a new narrative, determined to push his creative boundaries to their breaking point. Activating his power, the digital interface materializes as he begins processing the complex data. He connects the high-tech drive to his workstation, ready to render his most ambitious project yet. He meticulously constructs the plot structure, ensuring the narrative timeline and impending twists are flawless. Satisfied with the intricate setup, he officially crowns the ambitious project Deceitful Spacetime. Visual concepts spring to life, showcasing detailed character designs that hint at a dark, atmospheric world. He forces the hardware into overdrive, rendering a massive volume of high-quality episodes all at once. The colossal effort completely drains him, forcing him to finally step away from the glowing monitors. Unable to fight off the crushing fatigue, he collapses onto the couch into a deep, unnatural sleep. Sometime later, she arrives at his apartment with a warm meal, finding him unconscious in the dark. Visibly concerned for his well-being, she approaches quietly and gently checks his temperature. Her soft, familiar touch finally rouses him from his forced slumber, pulling him back to reality. Pleasantly surprised to find her waiting, he playfully teases her as his little clingy spirit. They share a tender moment before he glances at his phone, realizing how much time has passed. He notes that the new chip's energy consumption is far more severe than he initially anticipated. A loud grumble from his stomach harshly reminds him that he hasn't eaten a single thing all day. She playfully scolds him for neglecting his health, poking his forehead as she demands he eat properly. Without missing a beat, she retrieves the dinner she brought and sets out to heat it up. While she operates the microwave, a sudden realization hits him regarding the late hour. He frantically checks his phone again, confirming his worst suspicion about her school's strict regulations. It dawns on him that she missed her dorm curfew and is officially locked out for the night. She returns with the steaming hot food, completely oblivious to the housing predicament she's in. Ravenous from extreme exhaustion, he practically inhales the meal with uncharacteristic speed. His hasty eating causes him to choke, prompting her to rush over with a bottle of water. Once he recovers, she bursts into laughter, teasing the usually composed genius for acting so clumsily. After polishing off his meal, he gently broaches the delicate subject of her dorm's rigid curfew. She checks her own phone and reacts with wide-eyed shock as the reality of the time registers. Accepting the situation, he pulls out blankets, preparing a makeshift bed for her on the couch. He insists she take the comfortable spot while he plans to stay up and finish some tedious work. Not wanting him to push himself closer to the edge, she grabs his shirt, stopping him from leaving. She expresses her deep concern for his health, refusing to let him work through the night again. Touched by her genuine care, he relents, and they agree to share the space in the living room. He gently takes her hand, leading her back to the comfortable, dimly lit setup they've created. They settle in together under the warm blanket, the atmosphere growing noticeably quiet and intimate. Since neither of them is actually tired, she suggests they watch a movie to pass the time. He agrees and fires up the projector, pulling up a deeply romantic film to match the mood. As the movie plays, they slowly, almost magnetically, gravitate closer to each other under the covers. He wraps his arm securely around her shoulder, holding her close as the on-screen drama unfolds. The intense, fictional romance perfectly mirrors their own growing connection, heightening the emotional tension. They share a deeply intimate look, the unspoken feelings between them finally rising to the surface. Leaning in, they finally bridge the gap, sharing a passionate, tender kiss that changes everything. The sweet, lingering moment leaves them both flustered but undeniably happy as they hold each other tight. Eventually, the absolute comfort of his embrace lulls her into a peaceful, deep sleep. He silently watches her rest, realizing that this quiet, shared moment is what true happiness feels like. The next day, immense excitement sweeps the campus as posters boldly advertise a major launch event. Students eagerly discuss the highly anticipated release from the mysterious creator known as Day and Night. While she waits outside her dorm, a wealthy upperclassman pulls up in a flashy luxury sedan. He attempts to woo her by offering exclusive VIP tickets to the fiercely sought-after event. He obnoxiously boasts that these coveted tickets are impossible for regular students to ever obtain. Entirely unimpressed by his pathetic flaunting of wealth, she coldly rejects his offer without a second thought. Right on cue, her true romantic interest arrives on a modest scooter, unfazed by the luxury car. She happily hops onto the back of his scooter, leaving the wealthy student fuming in the driver's seat. Desperate to assert dominance, the upperclassman falsely claims he knows the legendary creator personally. They completely ignore his empty boasts and ride off together, leaving him stewing in his own ego. Alone in his car, the upperclassman smugly reveals an unauthorized merchandise contract he believes is genuine. Later at the venue, the group arrives, hoping to somehow secure entry to the packed showcase. He makes a quick phone call to his insider contact, effortlessly arranging top-tier VIP access for his friends. Event staff respectfully escorts them straight past the crowds and directly into the core VIP section. They are led to the best seats in the center of the auditorium, strictly reserved for special guests. The arrogant upperclassman arrives shortly after, absolutely shocked to discover they secured far superior seating. The lights dramatically dim, and the elegant host takes the stage to officially unveil the highly anticipated project. The premiere trailer begins, showcasing a breathtaking, high-stakes world of intricate clockwork and dynamic combat. The stunning visual fidelity and relentlessly intense action sequences leave the massive audience in absolute awe. Industry experts are visibly stunned, struggling to comprehend how such groundbreaking quality was achieved. As the jaw-dropping trailer concludes to roaring applause, the host calls the legendary creator to the stage, and he confidently rises. The shocking revelation leaves Mo Qiao's friends speechless as they stare in disbelief. They can hardly process that their buddy is the legendary creator day and night. But Zhang Lin isn't shocked in the slightest. She's practically glowing with pride. Swarmed by reporters, Mo Qiao smoothly handles the press, revealing he's only 20. When asked the burning question, he confidently declares that he is not single. He then stuns the crowd by announcing he won't be serializing his massive new work. Instead, he plans to release all 500 episodes in one colossal drop. The reporters are baffled, questioning how such an enormous workload is even possible. Mo Qiao seizes the moment to plant a seed for the industry's future. He hints at a revolutionary AI technology powered by high-performance GPUs. This innovation, he explains, will drastically reduce production costs and time. He promises to unveil this era-defining tech to the world once the time is right. Online, the announcement sparks a frenzy, with fans swooning over his talent. However, skeptics quickly surface, doubting anyone could produce that much quality animation. But loyal fans fire back, eager to see the arrogant doubters proven wrong. Away from the chaos, Mo Qiao finds Zhang Lin fast asleep on a lounge couch. He gently wakes his clingy little fairy, apologizing for keeping her waiting so long. Exhausted but happy, she leans into his warm, comforting embrace. The quiet intimacy of the dimly lit room draws them inevitably closer. They share a tender, lingering kiss, cementing their new public reality. Walking her back to the dorms, the autumn night feels perfectly serene. Mo Qiao pulls her into a tight hug, telling her to go get some rest. But Zhang Lin isn't ready to let go, boldly asking for one more kiss. He happily obliges, sealing the romantic night with another sweet embrace. Back in her room, her roommate Wan King is already waiting with a teasing grin. Wan King playfully mocks their lengthy, public goodbye downstairs. Flustered, Zhang Lin tries to deny being his wife, but Wan King isn't having it. She reminds Zhang Lin of how she used to hug her teddy bear, screaming his name. Knowing Zhang Lin's VIP status, Wan King sees a golden opportunity. She begs Zhang Lin to get her an early copy of the highly anticipated animation. To sweeten the deal, Wan Qing pulls out 2 top-tier hot spring resort tickets. The catch? It's a highly romantic overnight stay for 2. Zhang Lin's imagination runs wild, her face flushing red at the thought. Overcome by the temptation, she immediately agrees to the devilish trade. The next morning, Mo Qiao's roommates are having a full-blown meltdown in their dorm. They practically worship him, jokingly calling him Dad to get in his good graces. Mo Qiao laughs off their dramatic antics, clearly enjoying the chaotic respect. He gladly hands over a hard drive containing the coveted animation files. Meeting up with Zhang Lin later, Mo Qiao thoughtfully brings her fresh breakfast. He also hands her the hard drive with the raw files she asked for. As he reaches out to touch her forehead, she awkwardly flinches backward. Her sudden shyness confuses him, but she quickly brushes it off as nothing. Arriving at his classroom, Mo Qiao is greeted by stunned silence from his peers. A classmate admits they finally understand why the school's top beauty chose him. The realization that he's a certified genius has completely shifted their perspective. Later, Mo Qiao and Zhang Lin hit the road, heading toward the hot spring resort. Mo Qiao is pleasantly surprised she organized this sudden romantic getaway. Zhang Lin reveals the tickets were a direct bribe from Wan King for the files. She then confesses a secret she's been holding onto for years. She reveals she's been paying attention to him since their junior high days. A flashback takes us back to a rainy, fateful evening from their past. A younger Zhang Lin had fallen on the street, badly spraining her ankle. Mo Qiao had rushed over, offering his hand in the pouring rain. Calling himself a warrior of light, he bravely offered to carry her. He piggybacked her all the way to the clinic, a heroic moment she never forgot. At the clinic, a young Mo Qiao confidently stated his full name for the record. Back in the present, Zhang Lin admits she memorized his name right then and there. Arriving at the luxurious hot spring resort, the couple takes in the beautiful scenery. Their private suite is breathtaking, but one detail catches Zhang Lin off guard. Realizing there's only one bed, she gets visibly flustered by the implications. Mo Qiao tries to play it cool, though the tension in the room is palpable. To ease his nerves, he steps outside and slips into the steaming outdoor pool. Soon, Zhang Lin joins him, stepping into the water with timid grace. Mo Qiao's heart races as she wades closer to him through the misty heat. She gently leans against his chest, admitting she can hear his loud heartbeat. After their bath, they relax in the living room, sharing a quiet, comfortable moment. Mo Qiao begins to massage her feet, just like he did after a high school injury. Touched by his care, Zhang Lin leans in, closing the distance between them. The passion spills over straight to the couch, where the two share a breathless, deeply intimate kiss. Zhang Lin playfully breaks the tension, teasing how the fearless Liu Moqiao has been utterly tamed by her. Moqiao fully leans into the banter, admitting that she is the only one capable of short-circuiting his usually brilliant mind. Deciding to call it a night, Moqiao doesn't hesitate to sweep a sleepy Zhang Lin right off her feet, carrying her gently to the bedroom. Tucked into bed, the romance dial turns up again. She confesses her crush dates back to junior high, prompting his impossibly smooth reply that he must have been hooked since a past life. By morning, the sweetness hits its peak. Zhang Lin mutters a drowsy confession in her sleep, leaving a lovesick Moqiao to silently vow he'll spend the rest of his days making her happy.